I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hey guys, oh my gosh, we are alive, and so is Rio. I can't believe we get to talk about that. Welcome to Season 3, Episode 1, Find Your Beach. I'm your host, Kelsey Hightower, and beside me is our co-host, Amir Yasai.
Yasai, you got it right.
Yes.
I am yassing for this new season. I am excited. I am on the edge of my seat, so I'm excited to jump in.
We both are. This is such a good episode. We have so many things to talk about.
Right.
We're going to start off talking about our returning characters. We have to just wrap up, all the other seasons, just kind of touch on that, and then jump into what we saw in the first episode. And then we're going to be talking about Rio being alive, Agent Turner at the end, and also this new character, Rio's baby mama situation.
Yes.
So we're going to see if that's dangerous or not for Beth. Plus, we have our wonderful segment, Who is Your Favorite Baddest Good Girl? And we have news, some social media for you, and predictions. So we've got a full show ready to dive in. First off, I just want to chat about the last couple of seasons. So welcome to the panel.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Every week, we're excited. So just looking back in the last two seasons, watching it, who would you say is one of your favorite characters in the last two seasons?
So most people would kind of think that I would pick like Ruby or Annie or Beth, but I'm gonna just go with I love a bad guy that you root for. Rio is like, he's on the playground with his son, he's supporting his ex-wife. Like, I don't know, I'm kind of rooting for him. I know he kills people, yes, we get it. But it's like the Dexter effect. You kind of end up rooting for people that are kind of flawed, but are in some ways working on it. Like him even opening up to Beth and kind of sleeping with her and like connecting with her in that way. I liked that. I was down with that.
Okay, so you are Team Brio.
I am Team, Brio.
Yes.
I was like, I am Team Brio. Yes.
That is our favorite.
Yes.
Brio, welcome to book club.
Yes.
You're in the best place.
Yes.
Okay, so then we also had a lot of controversy the last couple of seasons with Dean, because Dean has been he's been an okay dad, but like a terrible husband, obviously. Like not only as just like, finances, but cheating on your wife, all sorts of terrible things. He's just kind of a hot mess. But what has been your take on Dean throughout?
So I can't fault Dean. Again, I am the president of He Will Get Better Club. So I am always rooting for the man that's kind of struggling. And it's Matthew Lillard. I mean, he's from Can't Hardly Wait. He's from Dead Man on Campus. Like such a 90s star that I just can't help but like kind of root for him. But he did, I don't like to say he deserved it, but in some ways what befell him, it's karma. So, sorry, Dean, he has some bad karma.
I know, it just catches up to him, and we see that a lot throughout the show. It's like he catches all sorts of karma coming on. We see that.
Absolutely.
But also moving on to our favorite moments. So there's been so many wonderful comedic moments throughout this. We've seen, incredible writing. We have seen the girls go from robbing the Fine and Frugal grocery store at the beginning. Yep. We've seen them chasing down the DNA truck. We've heard about Ruby's arm, the sauce arm.
Oh, yes. I forgot about that. You're right.
Done that. Mm-hmm. There has been so many great moments and funny moments throughout the show. Have there been any favorite moments that you can think of off the top of your head?
Great question. Yeah, I think my favorite moment, honestly, when you said it, is the DNA truck. Just the hijinks of the back and forth and trying to get the DNA, and they always make it in the nick of time. And I think what for me is my favorite moments of the show is when they're kind of doing a stake and they're in the car, the three of them, and the ridiculous writing that happens and the jokes between Annie and Ruby and Beth. I think that dynamic is so relatable. It's like they lived in a dorm together in college, and they're continuing that friendship and having kids and families. And I think people relate to that. They kind of root for them.
Yes, I do too. I'm one of those people, I feel like.
Right.
And as far as the DNA truck goes, I mean, that moment with Ruby standing in line at Starbucks, I mean...
That was iconic. I've been behind people like that at Starbucks.
It is!
That's awesome.
Like we've experienced a lot of these moments, I feel like. It's a very everyday type, a taste of life, this show.
Absolutely. And you're kind of rooting for them even though they're doing something wrong, you're still kind of rooting for them, which is like... That's like good writing because they got me from the first episode, and I was watching this show where a lot of people didn't know about it. They were like, "What's Good Girls?" And I was super into it, and just the masks they wore, and they're just good jokes sprinkled throughout. So I'm in it.
Yes, and such good writing.
Yeah.
And I just want to shout out real quick. We've got Rainy J in the chat right now. Sam is in the chat. So hello, you guys keep throwing comments down there on what you think about this first episode in season 3, and we will definitely shout you out here. And when you leave comments, we'll do a review at the beginning or end of next episode. So keep that up. We love you guys out there commenting. So let's jump into this episode.
Yes.
So the biggest moment of the episode by far is that Rio is alive. We ended last season with Beth shooting Rio. Agent Turner watched the whole thing. He was tied up the whole time. And then we cut to this season. Beth thinks that he's dead. So do all the girls. And yet we get a little taste of Rio being alive. And I had a freak out moment.
You did.
I was so like, what is happening?
Yeah.
So he is alive. The biggest question is what is going to be his storyline in season 3? We don't know, like, if he's gonna jump into the girls' crime again. Is he going to lay low? We can definitely talk about that in predictions. Leave your comments in the chat now. How excited were you about Rio being back?
I love Rio, and he's just like my boyfriend, and then he was in Power and got killed, and now he's on this show, and I'm like, please don't get rid of him.
He just keeps getting killed.
Keeps getting
Keeps getting
but at
shot.
least he came back. He didn't
know.
come back to Power, so I'm very excited that he's back, and I think what's really important in that is that Agent Turner gave him an out at the end of last season, was like, I put 9-1, like, are you gonna help me get Beth? So the fact is, he got on board, it seemed, but then who ended up shooting Turner? So is it Rio? Would he be that dumb, or is it the perfect crime? Because you don't expect it. So
Yes, and I think with this show, it tells you exactly what they want you to know. Like,
Right.
they tell us exactly what they want us to know.
Absolutely.
And they won't give us any of the other details. And
Right.
so it's like, there's so many puzzle pieces missing between seeing Rio alive and then the very end of Turner being shot,
So
that
many
it's just
puzzles.
like, where did this come from? Is this something completely unrelated? Is it not? So that's what we're going to find out this season, I feel like.
He's too obvious. So I will say, I know we're going to do predictions later, but I really, for some reason, I want to see what people think in the chat, but I really think it's Rhea. I think she's got a new haircut. She's coming from Orange is the New Black. So I don't know. Like, it's always a character you don't expect because he was smiling and leaving the hotel. Like, so I don't know. We'll see. I don't know.
Okay, well, let's talk about
Yes.
Rhea.
Yes, Rhea.
So she is a new character this season. This is Marcus's mom. We have not seen her before. Beth, I think, is she's overcompensating for guilty feelings because obviously Rio was a thing. So she has feelings for Rio no matter what. Like, business or not, like, there are feelings there for sure. So I think that when she shot him, she was like, oh my gosh. And she's met Marcus before on the playground, in the park, all that stuff. And so I think that she's overcompensating and she's seeking out, like, I think that she sought out Rhea. I don't know if that's true or not. That's just what I am thinking in my mind.
I think she did it. I think it would be just so coincidence that they would run into each other at the playground. I get, like, the kid would go there a lot, but feels a little planned.
Yes.
And even juice boxes, it felt all like she was trying too hard. I was like, girl.
She's trying too hard, and it's going to lead down a terrible path for her. Because
Yes.
but here's my question that I have is Beth going to be the fall of this, or is like Rio? You had mentioned something big, and I don't know if you want to say it, but something that about Rio, and it's Rio and Rhea.
Rhea.
It's why
It's so
why are they so close?
It sounds
guys?
like a character's from Madagascar. I'm like, it's like Rio and Rhea.
It's like
dancing.
they obviously don't go together. It's like they go together too well.
It's too well.
Okay.
It's R&R.
I know.
Which is not that is not what they're set up. This show is not set up for any R&R.
I can't even wrap my mind around it. Okay, so so either Beth is overcompensating and her guilty feelings are going to be the fall for this, or Rio has something to do with it, is something that you mentioned before the show.
Right.
Do you want to elaborate on that theory?
Well, I think that what's going to end up happening is that Rhea is going to see something of Rio's in the house. That's what I was saying. So, like, I think he's getting, like, a leather jacket or like a belt or something, because they were very sloppy and that house is a pigsty. So I feel like she's going to see something something's gonna happen. Something's gonna go down. Maybe the check will bounce that she gave her. I don't know what is going on, so we'll see. I'm kind of looking forward to that.
Oh, I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a good prediction. Do you think that Rio has anything to do with it, like setting Rhea up with Beth in any way?
Oh, that's good. That's really good. That's some good tea.
I don't know.
That's some good tea.
I know.
I think so. I think
I'm gonna
he's
take a
very
moment.
smart. Yeah, take your tea, drink your tea.
Okay,
and
resume.
spill it. And spill it. I think that you really caught me off guard because that's really good. But I think that it makes sense. He's very calculated. He's very smart. And him smiling coming down that elevator, leaving that hotel you said was in Burbank because I think they film in the Valley.
I think that's right by my house.
There you go. See,
know.
I love that. I love LA. So I think he was too happy. He was leaving with a gunshot wound and he looked too happy. So he has something percolating. He's smart.
He is. He's too smart. But I just don't know if he would have had the time to do that, if he maybe set it up to help both his kid and Beth in a way. But it just feels like a recipe for disaster.
Right.
I don't know. Well, and in that situation, who would blow up? Would it be Beth that blows up or would it be Rhea? I don't understand. I don't know which one would be worse. If Beth found out Rio, I think Beth is trying to get close because keep your friends close and your enemies closer. Plus, I think she feels guilty, so she's trying to take in Marcus and take care of him. But I think that she's trying to get information because if Rio did live through it or she's getting income or something like that, I think that would be the first way for her to find out.
I got you. I think Rhea is just too comfortable with the fact that nothing happened to Rio and the money's going to come through no matter what. She seemed like she'd had a conversation with him on the phone or something.
Yes.
She seemed way too comfortable. And that's the reason I think we always underestimate women being the crime boss. There was a movie where Salma Hayek was the crime boss. People don't expect that. So I think it throws the scent off. So she might be actually at the center of all of this. So Rhea is actually the crime boss, and he works for her.
That's
what I think.
Interesting.
Because this show's all about female empowerment. Mm-hmm. It's good girls. It's about women rising to the occasion. It's Beth being like, you know what? F my suburban bullshit and my husband cheating on me. I'm gonna create my family's wealth. And so I don't know. It might be that would make sense. It's on brand.
I would love that.
Yeah, same.
I would
Same.
absolutely die.
Same,
That would
same.
be amazing.
Yeah.
I have to take in a moment for that.
Right, the four of them together, and they do a little montage of them working together. I could really see it. I'm in it.
Yes.
I'm in it.
And Rio just does all the dirty work for the girls,
Yeah.
pretty much, or for his wife or his baby mama.
He's a lackey. He's like the lackey, and he's good looking lackey. But he's gonna do all the dirty work, which I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I am excited.
We're excited about that.
We're excited about that. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Turner. Okay. So I saw on Twitter a little bit about Turner being excited because people are saying that he's kind of being a bad cop because he is. I guess we saw on the show that Rio and Turner is trying to get information out of Rio. So they're not exactly working together, but it's kind of alluding to Turner is going to be on Rio's side to get Beth and take her down is kind of what I got out of the 2 seconds we saw them together, making a deal in the hotel room.
Yeah.
I don't know that he's been necessarily a dirty cop this whole time, but I think he's doing anything it takes to find Beth. That is the target.
Okay.
What are we going to do?
He's obsessed with Beth.
He is.
There's this weird he likes the cat and mouse game. He likes to show up on her. He likes to come and eat the pie. Or was it cheesecake? I can't remember. He likes to come and kind of mess with her life when he can. And even coming to the greeting store, he was trying to mess with her and all of that. So I think that Turner, I don't know if he's quite a bad cop. Listen, this show's too smart to do this, but they could have done a scene where maybe someone dropped a bag of money at his dead body. But that's just too obvious that he would then be a bad cop. They're going to kind of set us up. Mm-hmm. So I think what's going to happen is in the season finale, they're going to do a flashback to that scene and we're going to see who did it. So that's what I'm kind of thinking with that. But I think Turner's too smart to be a dirty cop. That's just my opinion.
We haven't really seen anything of him being a dirty cop the last couple seasons. It's just this season it's just this episode where he was working with Rio, and I don't even think that was necessarily a dirty cop move.
No.
It was he's trying to get Beth, and even he's not really working with Rio. I don't know what he gave him, but there was an exchange with a piece of paper that Rio gave to Turner, and he looked at it, but we never saw what was on there, so we don't know exactly what
They're never going to show us.
Of course. I mean, until the finale.
Of course.
Yes, but you did mention the time in the paper store in Beth's store, I guess, now. And so I think the girls, this was a great moment to talk about because they actually picked up Turner's hint by showing up, and they went and they like burned all the evidence. They like actually did. In my opinion, they did the right thing this time.
Yeah, it was cringe to see all that money going up.
Yeah, so they got rid of the money, this is the first time in the show. Typically, they try to outsmart Turner or the gang, and we see how that's ended time and time. I know, time and time again. So this time they picked up on the hint, and
very smart.
They got rid of the money. That was hard.
Season 3.
Season 3. Here we go.
Finally.
At the beginning. There's lots of time for errors.
Absolutely. When it comes to crime.
Definitely. So that was a good moment. I was happy to see that. I think it's like a change of pace that they're keeping not only the writing fresh, but something that they're doing, a learning lesson.
I like it. And me and Kels talked off camera, disclaimer, we both don't really watch a lot of crime shows, and so we love this. So I think it's important for people out there that are like, oh, good girls, they're going to be like doing a life of crime. I'm not really into it. It's really different, guys. Like, I really want you guys to check it out because it really is different. It's about like the friendship. It's about like female empowerment. So there's more to this show than just crime. I want to make that very clear.
Yes, I think we all watch for the comedy.
Yes.
I mean, that's good. And we're learning crime along the way.
We're learning about using nail polish remover to get yourself a $1 and get it to $10.
I mean, just find a graphic designer.
Yes. And she's so cute. She's from a lot of Judd Apatow movies. Yes. So they're casting a lot of really strong female characters, and a lot of them are comedians. Like Rhea is a comedian. So I think it's really smart bringing that in. I like that.
I think so too. And you can definitely see the difference the show makes.
Absolutely.
With that.
The ad-libbing is clearly ad-libbing. Like Rhea's ad-libbing in the car many times, I can tell.
Well, and even the character who plays JT from the little quickie store, who's now working together with the girls.
Fabulous casting.
Is amazing. Like, okay, from the moment I saw him on the screen, it was like, he belongs. Yes!
Burrito Gate!
Yes! And so I'm so glad that they decided to work with him and like bring him on as recurring.
Yes.
But he was in Key and Peele. Like, he's done comedy.
Yes, well done.
And stuff like that.
The showrunner's smart. The showrunner has like a comedy background or something. We'll let you know next week about that, but the showrunner's on point.
Yes, very very great. So this has been a great first episode.
Fabulous.
And there's so many questions that I have. Like, it's hard to talk about when you're just like, okay, we got a couple of pieces here. And then that. So other things we didn't see in the show. Boomer. We don't know if what's happening with him or Granny. The little grandma.
I love the grandma.
I know.
She kept making that roast and calling him. I'm like, he did.
I know.
Grandma,
don't do that. So that was, I hope we see her this season.
Right. Or the car, right? Like, was there Boomer's car, right? They threw the phone in the lake.
In the lake.
That's going to come up to bite them in the ass.
Yeah. So and speaking of that, Mary Pat, she's the one who kind of is behind all of that Boomer situation and the dead body and the trash can and all that stuff. So we haven't seen her in this first episode yet, but
she scares me. I don't trust her.
I don't trust her
as
for
far as I can throw her.
1 second. 1 second.
I don't like her. She's lovely on Fargo, but not in this show. No.
And she has a new show out right now. I'll have to look it up.
Also a comedian. So they're very smart hiring these comedians. I think it's great. Should we jump into some news we have for the show, or what do we think?
Let's do it.
Should we do it?
Okay.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Here we go. Let's talk about the news. Take it away, Amir.
So the only thing I really have for you guys, because the show just premiered, is that they had a bit of a... Oh, hello, news. News time. So the only thing I have for you guys is really the show just premiered. So the ratings weren't as good as they were last season. So I'm a little bummed because I really like this show. And like I said, the show's so much more than crime. So I think if you're out there kind of not sure to watch this or not, I really recommend you jump in. Like, the little quips between Annie and Ruby and Beth is so funny. And they're two sisters, like their older sister, younger sister, and the way they support each other. It's just, there's a lot of heart in it. So I think if you're hesitant, I would jump in. I'm sad about the ratings being low.
And I think maybe what has something to do with the ratings too is that seasons 1 and 2 are on Netflix. And I feel like a lot of people watch it on Netflix.
True.
And so, I mean, that's where a lot of people, I feel like friends and stuff like that have caught up.
Yes.
And if you're catching up on seasons 1 and 2, it's a great thing to jump on there. But as far as like going back onto a regular scheduled programming on NBC, that's sometimes hard to make the switch. Absolutely. Or you don't know about it or you haven't heard about it yet because the advertising might not be out there or anything yet. So it's on NBC and it's also on Hulu.
I watch it on Hulu, actually.
Yeah, you can watch it on Hulu. So
I'm part of the problem, I guess.
I know. So I mean, ratings might not be good, but I feel like people are still really invested.
People are in it. I mean, they have billboards all over LA, and they did a great push. So NBC's a great network to be on. So I think they'll be fine.
They will be.
Yeah, I think so. You make it past your 2-season kind of slump, you're good.
Oh yeah. There's so many unanswered questions.
We need our answers.
We need answers.
And Rio's back. Like they can't cancel us. So
exactly. If Rio's in it, then
we're good.
it's sticking around.
Rhea is good.
So that was good information.
Thank you,
and then what about anybody on social media?
Yeah, so I have some socials. So the ladies were wearing pink. They were kind of doing that like Mean Girls. You can't sit with us on Wednesday if you're not wearing pink.
Yes.
They were doing all their press junkets, and it was funny because they were quoted saying that it's like being back in high school. So it's so fun. So like they're all in it. Like the ladies are loving it, and I think they're actually friends off set, and you can feel that. So I really like that. And Christina Hendricks was also doing her press. I mean, she is coming from Mad Men. She's kind of like the starlet of the show, which is great. But she's been doing a lot of press too. So I think we're gonna be fine. That's what I'm saying. The ladies are doing their work. We're gonna come back. We're not going to get canceled. We're good.
Yeah, I think we're far from that. So we're good. We're good. We have a whole season ahead of us.
Absolutely.
So no talk of canceling.
No.
Okay, let's jump into our segment. It is who is your favorite baddest good girl of the episode? Ooh. And this segment we like to talk about because it is such a female-driven cast. Cast and also crew behind the scenes too, as far as like,
great.
yes.
I love that you mentioned that. That's so important. It's often on camera.
It is. Yeah. But speaking of, cast, it's such a high female show that we like to have a segment where we talk about the girls and have a moment about that. Fun. So throughout every episode, I mean, there's definitely characters that I lean to more throughout the show, and I like to talk about or highlight. And for me, for this episode, we're coming back on the first episode, and I think that I would give it to Rhea, personally. Okay. That's mine. And then I'll tell you my reasons, and then we'll move on to you.
It's all good.
But I think it's her first, it's the first episode, first time we're seeing her, but she is living like a single mother. Mm-hmm. She has Rio who comes in and out of her life and, provides for her financially, it sounds like, but also how trustworthy is that source? You never know if money is coming or not. And so you have to be able to be a mother on your own, have money just in case it doesn't show up, and just kind of like be the boss. And so I felt like she was a leader for this episode. I felt like she was a very empowering character and an empowering woman for this episode. And so that's why I'm going with her.
I love her, Kels. That's a really good person to pick. She is a bad girl. And I think what I like about her is there was a little nugget that she said about, I'll name a wing in my house after you. Mm-hmm. And she's like, you don't have a wing. And I think she's a lot more well off than we think. That's why I think she's the crime boss. Because she said a wing of her house. So I think we're gonna have a mansion with Rhea. That's what I
am really excited to see this.
Me too.
Okay, so who is your baddest good girl pick of today?
Yes, so my baddest good girl of today is the graphic designer. I am with her. I am standing with her. I love the energy. She's such a comedic. She's got great comedic chops. When Turner and Beth were in the paper store, she kept jumping out. Gag gift? And she's just so funny and so fun to like watch. So I'm really kind of giving it to her.
I love that. That's great. Yeah. I am excited to see a lot more of her this season. Same. And I'm excited to meet the bird.
I know, the bird! The bird in the hand. I was like, what is going on?
We did see that in the prediction. So speaking of, should we jump into predictions?
Let's do it.
Predictions!
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Freeze frame. Okay. So do you want to start us off? Well, first of all, in the promo, let's talk about that because that came up so quickly, the whole promo. So here's what I saw. We saw birds. We saw Turner's death memorial.
Yes. Vigil.
Vigil.
A little vigil for the moment.
Little vigil.
She poured
That's
some
what it's
coffee
called.
out, which is not the right thing to do.
That's not what you're supposed to do. And I know Annie's relationship with Turner is not very hot, but that is not,
not the way to
what
do it.
you do.
That's not the way
That's
to
not
do
how you take it out. Annie, you're a mess. Okay, we saw that. We saw Rhea walking free in the streets of Burbank.
That's the place to go free. I mean, come on.
That fresh, valley air hitting your face. We saw money.
Stack.
Stack it up.
Yeah.
So we saw that is the
and we
business
know it's
is
going to work. The money's going to work because it passed the test.
It did pass the test. I mean, JC. And then what is Rio going to do? That's my question. So that was the promo. Let's jump into our predictions. What are you predicting?
So I touched upon it a little bit. Well, a lot of it. But I think Rhea is the crime boss. I think she's at the center of all the crime activities, all those extracurricular activities. She's going to have a mansion. She's going to have a moment. And I think that another prediction as well is that I might be overthinking it, but I think Turner's husband is going to show up in some way. And maybe he's the dirty cop and maybe Rio's going to work with him in some capacity. So I don't know. I don't even know if Turner's husband is even a cop, but I feel like there's something it's going to come around.
Or Noah.
Oh,
Annie's ex,
that might be better.
Noah.
Yeah, because we've kind of met that character. You're right, Noah. That might be good.
I would like to
Come
see
full circle.
Turner's husband though, because he was
cute.
He was nice.
He was so nice.
Nice.
Nice to look at.
I know.
That awkward dinner. I was like, ugh.
So awkward.
So awkward.
Well, and that would bring some more softness to Turner, I think, if we saw his husband.
Oh, maybe at the funeral or vigil or whatever. We'll see something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good predictions.
Okay. That's where I'm at.
That's where we're at. I mean, there's a lot of things we could predict here with Rio, what he's going to do. I think he's going to lay low, especially away from Beth. I don't think that he's going to show his face or want to be a part of the girls' schemes. Mm-hmm. So I think he's going to lay low for that.
Okay.
I think...
How long do you think he's going to lay low? Like, how many episodes do you think? A couple episodes?
Maybe... I think he's going to start something else on his own. And I think that, I don't know, it might be episode 3 or 4 before Beth finds out about it through his baby mama, I think.
Oh, she's going to drop some nuggets. Okay.
I think that's going to happen. Okay. So I think maybe Beth will hear about it, but they're not actually going to meet face to face for a few episodes.
Okay. Or Rhea could say, I talked to my ex-husband or something.
Yes,
something
or the money came in or something.
Okay, got you.
Ooh, I don't know.
I'm so excited.
I'm ready for some steamy moments.
Can we
again.
get the screeners? Just give it to us, NBC.
I know. Yeah. So there's that, and then Annie's love life is always a mess. I think we'll probably see a new guy come in the picture. Right. Maybe Noah. I honestly I know Noah did not do the best things, but they were so cute together. He actually felt like a boyfriend. Like, he treated her like a person.
I love him. And it's not the first time undercover cop falls in love with the subject. That happens in real life. I have a friend who's a cop. That's happened. Like, she was going undercover for a drug dealer in downtown LA and fell in love with him. and left the police force to, be a drug dealer. So this happens in real life. Yep.
IRL?
Isn't that crazy? IRL. So this is not even that crazy. This show is still...
That's not far-fetched.
Yeah, stranger than fiction, right?
Okay, so I'll root for that then.
Yes. Who knows? I want more steamy moments. I agree with you.
I do too.
I agree with you. And I mean, if the guy that you rear-ended is trying to sleep with you, I think Noah's not looking so bad. He was gross. That guy was awful.
I don't know what that was. I love the slow door close moment. I don't want to see him again. We don't want
to see him again.
No.
No. And that's such a dude moment. Can you just watch me come? No.
Yeah, no.
No thanks.
Just
female empowerment. Close the door.
Yeah, just
Ladies,
close the door.
Close the door on men like that.
Close the door.
Close the door.
And on that, we are going to close the door on this episode.
Perfect segue.
All right, guys. You can leave your predictions in the comments. Let us know what you're thinking, and we'll be able to shout those out on the next episode. Until then, where can the lovely people find you?
They can find me at Amir, A-M-I-R, Yas, like Yas Queen _
I love that, Amir. Okay, and you can find me, Kelsey Hightower, at Kels Hightower. Until next time, we'll see you later.
See ya.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.